Hey guys, this is going to be my video for Film 4, which is with David Hockney. And the question that I'm choosing to talk about is what was the secret knowledge and does it change the way I look at a painting and why? So, this particular film was extremely interesting um, because in, in Drawing 2, we're also talking about the use of projection for drawing. And in the beginning when he mentioned Andy Warhol, we had just talked about that today in class. So I was really intrigued with this video to start off with. Um, so going back, I'm gonna go back before he created the secret knowledge. Um, David noted that in 1420, a sudden change occurred, and a lot of art historians agreed that all of a sudden everyone could draw better. Their faces of the figures were all of a sudden extremely realistic and full of emotion, which was something that they did not see prior to 1420. Um, He also noted that the faces inhabited very strong lighting and contrast, which he would relate towards the sun, the use of sun. And he felt like the use of sun and the lighting was kind of like the big clue of the painting. Like that's why everything looked more realistic because it had shades and tones and contrast, which was not seen prior to 1420. So from that, he went on to talk about how camera lenses could have been used by artists to paint. And after he did much research, he found that, at the time, during, for instance, Van Eyck, they couldn't have used obscuras or camera lenses. So him and more art historians and artists, they came up with the idea that it was mirrors because a mirror could be used to do the same thing a lens would use. And specifically, the image of Van Eyck's um, one of Van Eyck's images. I can't recall the name. I'll post it on my blog, but it's the one where it's the husband and wife, and you would think that she was pregnant, um, but really, I don't believe she was pregnant. But during this time, for a woman to be voluptuous meant that wealth. But that painting, you kind of could see in the background that it could have been painted by a reflection of a mirror. So from all of this notions and all of the compare and contrast and looking at other artists' work, he came up with the secret knowledge. Now, the secret knowledge eventually became a book um, that he was the author of, and basically it kind of talked about this secret knowledge that no one knew about, according to him. Not even art historians. No one knew um, why artists' pictures began to be more realistic. Their drawings began to get way better than they were before. And in this secret knowledge book, he explained how artists use camera obscura to obtain an image um, that kind of resembled what they were drawing, put a projection on it, and like when they projected it, the image uh, was upside down. And as we talked about in my drawing 2 class, um, it projected upside down, but once you did the outline, you can kind of just fit, well, you'll turn it right side up and then fill it in, but you'll do the outline of the basic drawing. Um, so that's kind of how they were able to draw better in things like, for instance, photo to drawing looked almost exact because of that projection of the image. It's also how People like Andy Warhol. I can't think of, like I said, we saw another artist who kind of projected and made small photographs huge from the projection. Um, does this make me feel a certain way about paintings? It does, but it doesn't. It doesn't so much make me feel a certain way about paintings, but about the artist's skill. Um, it definitely makes me feel like um, I'm not taking the easy way out if I do it because so many famous artists do it. And I would say that it makes painting and drawing easier, but it only makes it easier if you don't produce the reference you're painting from. Because if you produce the reference you're painting from and it doesn't look almost exact and that's what you were going for, then it kind of makes it harder because now you have to perfect it to this photograph in a painting. So I kind of feel like it's neutral in that stance. Um, yeah, I think I kind of look at the paintings the same. I think every artist kind of have their own skill level, and to me, I think this is a smart idea. Like, why waste time trying to perfect the image when you can just project it and kind of it's almost like when you're younger and you're using tracing paper to trace over something and then you remove the object from under the tracing paper and then you draw from that. It's kind of like the same thing. So I definitely think it's a good idea. And like I said, I don't think any different about paintings. It kind of astonishes me when I see a drawing with a drawing and then the picture and they look exact. But like I said before, it also kind of makes me think about the artist's skill level. Like, not that they're less skillful because they're using projection, but it kind of makes me think of their skill level rather than the painting itself. Again, like I've said in all my other videos, if you guys have any questions, just comment on my blog, and I'm going to post your follow-up question for next week. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and stay warm. Talk to you later.